Alright, welcome back. So we're going to look at the Total Studio Bundle and some of the sounds that you might find on the actual web store. And then I've got the Akai MPC Key 61 today. I'm in standalone mode. And so it may take just a little bit longer to load off the SSD that's in here. But likewise. So right now, I'm going to go through just sort of some of the expansion sounds and some of the ways that I actually use them. None of the sounds are coming from external gear. This is all from the expansion bundle, and all the sounds that I've done while using the gear I've sampled here in this studio here. So everything that I've done, the previews, the effects processing, and I'll kind of scan through all that stuff as we go. So I'm in the guitar expansion bundle right now, and when you pop this open, you're actually going to see acoustic guitar, the expressive bass. I actually could do one video just really on this alone. Some of the humbucker guitars. And so these are previews that I played when I actually built these expansions. But they're all meant and designed to be played from the actual keyboard. All right, so and by the way, the effects are all programmable. So I just used a whole chain of effects. So I've got the amp simulator here. All this stuff I programmed for the most part from scratch, but they can also be bypassed. Okay. All right. So for example, the multi-course, which I'm not a big fan of, when I programmed all these sounds prior to that update, that had been replaced by, not replaced, but they've finally added an actual chorus, and then the Jura chorus. So for example, the Jura chorus, which you have to buy, but I'm recommending that it's a great plugin to buy. And just make sure you get it when it's on sale. Like the 40% off sales, whatever. So let's just turn the noise down, and we'll just kind of, I'll use the Q link to adjust the mix here. Okay, and you can kind of play with, this setting. I just kind of brought up a little preset. All right. But a fantastic, the studio guitar is a fantastic bundle. All right, and this is only in the Total Studio Bundle. Now you can get the electric guitars, the LA Strat, which is a small portion of what's contained in this, but it's at a fairly lower price on the expansion store. It's called the LA Guitar. But it'll have some of the electric and humbucker guitar sounds in it. But in the Total Studio Bundle, this particular guitar pack has got all the guitars and basses in there. And like I said, it's only available in the bundle itself. So in here, if you see like acoustic guitars, so this Nylon Fingers is a very interesting sample. It came from 2 or 3 different sources. And so I got this one down to sound like this. And I got the releases and all that. So that one came out pretty nice. But one of the cool things about this, let's just go back to the bundle. Okay, so now the expressive bass, which I've already showed a little bit, was a stepping stone to get to this point where the expressive bass. So if I go to expressive bass right now, and I'll just pull up, bring your A game in. So these were designed to play with the sustain pedal, and they actually have, if you could hear that. So very lightly, I've got the actual sounds. Okay, so it's designed to play with the sustain pedal, so you can do sort of the open string stuff, and then also have the capability, without doing a whole lot of key switching, the slaps and the regular, just the regular pulls. And then of course the sounds. Okay. Now, before that ever actually happened, the stepping stone was to do, and I'm going to show you here. The total bass. So the total bass was a collection that was like sort of the stepping stone to expressive bass, which is only available in the bundle again. So if I load this, the fingers. Okay, so it was a stepping stone to get there, but these basses are still really very usable. Okay, all right, so that's just the studio guitar, and I've already had videos on the Stratocasters, but for those of you that are new, Stratocasters and synth basses and humbuckers. So we'll possibly revisit this, hopefully, if we got time. But and these are very playable. I'm going to play this for you right now, and then I'm going to show you later on how I implement these. So this could be a fairly sizable long video. So we're going to go load this, and all right. So next little thing I'm going to show you a little bit is this the acoustic drums and the electric drums. Now, on the web store, there's going to be, I think, maybe 8 or 9 drum expansion packs that are sort of mini packs. But the true anthology bundle is going to be only in the Total Studio Bundle. And as you go into this particular Super Drums Anthology, again, only in the Total Studio Bundle, but it's a great value. You're going to get tons of drum sounds. More than I can show you. So if I go into the drum category right here, and I just pull up one of these kits, you can kind of see what they look like. Very expressive. Okay, and so here's Fat Rock. All right. So I haven't really covered a lot of keyboard stuff. There's really a lot to cover in here. This came from the original, from one of my first expansions, which I no longer really sell by itself, and this has now sort of been culminated into the crispy keys. And this is originally it was from my Fat Keys expansion, which I no longer have. Okay, but I still actually like that sound. Here's the hip hop nylon style sound. The fundamental clean, which you heard earlier, the fingers, bring your A game. So these are sounds that I actually demoed a little bit earlier. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this, and all I'm going to do is just go in the browse, and I have a template here that's in my documents folder right here. I'm just going to tap it. I'm going to clear everything that I have loaded because it's probably at like 70% of the memory capacity. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to start from scratch. So I'll show you how this works, and as I start loading more sounds. So I'm going to load out of the expressive bass sound. I'm going to load, let's see, the King of Thumbs. Okay. And then I'm just going to quickly go into the guitar expansion, and I'm going to load Standard Strat A. And I'm going to actually load Super Clean Pick. Okay. And then out of the Roland style sounds, there was a fantastic Cosm Monster. All right. And then out of the humbucker, I'm going to load the Orange Lead, which is a distortion guitar. Okay. And then out of the Key Standard, we're going to go to electric pianos. We'll do D80 standard. I love this sound. It's been the sound I've been using a lot lately. But there's a lot of digital. Okay, there's plenty to work off of. We're going to synth out a little bit, and I'm going to pull up out of the FM synth this bell sound. And out of the Summit, Minneapolis. I love this sound. I lived in Minneapolis for over the span of 3 years off and on. And then out of the synth bass, DS bass. Okay. Last but not least, out of the sort of that chord style stuff, let's take a look at some of the chord drum sounds. Some percussion, workstation style percussion, just for now. Let me do one drum kit after loading all this stuff. So let me just do one drum kit, and we're just gonna take it out of here. One acoustic kit. So we got just a bunch of sounds here, and so one of the things that I'll do is I've got a template here. So one thing I might do is just like a bar of percussion. And so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the quantize, and I'm going to keep it at less than 50%. I'm going to hit. So if I deselect record right here, you'll see the undo will go solid. And when the undo goes solid, that means everything that you do up to this point, when you press undo, it will take that away. Now, if I hit record again, the undo starts flashing. That means anything I do from this point on will be undoable until I hit initiate another action. So, solid. So if I do... So I'm going to go in here and overdub. Okay, so if I hit here again, it's going to go solid, and so you're going to constantly see me use the release this once I get something I like. So I'm going to pull up a drum kit, and I'm just going to play a hi-hat pattern. Okay, take it out. Now I'm going to double everything, so it's 4 bars now. Okay, now I'm just in rehearsal now. So once I get a direction, I'm going to hit record. Hit record, or deactivate record, and you see this go solid. So at this time I got drums, and I got percussion. Okay, so I'm constantly labeling things so I know where I'm at. All right, just for this idea today. I'm on E. I think I'm going to do little bass groove. And we're going to look at that bass sound I told you about. So we're going to test out King of Thumbs. So make sure I got the quantize at less than 50%. All right, or off, whatever. So I decided I don't want King of Thumbs in here. So for those of you new to the MPC, for deleting the actual sound entirely, it takes 2 steps. One, you delete the sound itself. You're not deleting it out of the expansion. You're just deleting it out of the actual project. So I hit delete. And now if I want to delete the samples to free up memory, I just purge only unused samples. Because what you're basically doing when you delete a program, what you're essentially doing is what they call orphaning a sample. You're orphaning samples from its program. So I'll just say unused. So now I'm back down to 17%. I've used really, of all the stuff that I loaded, I'm using very little of what I loaded. So let's go back to the bass expansions. And I'm going to go into here and patty cakes. Okay. So a little bit of a sharp pull, So I'm going to transpose this down so I can get the articulations over here, and we'll play up here. 2, 3, 4. Now, I might have not have liked that sound, that long G, so I have a couple ways of erasing it. I think I'm just going to play it and then hit erase and just spot erase. So by playing the transport, hit the key and it's gone. I hit that G. See how I did that? Like if I want to erase that, I just play right here. So I'm just going to play right up to here near the end. I'm going to cue it near the end and hit erase. So I erased the A. So now I can just like re-record in a punch-in. So I'm going to do it right from the beginning. Okay, and that is just a basic scratch track. I'll put a keyboard here and just quickly name it, and I'll assign a keyboard here, just a simple, and I'll put D80 standard. So I decided that whatever bass I played is not what I want, so I just re-record. 2, 3, 4. And so now as things start to pan out, maybe I need the percussion and maybe not, so I'm going to just mute the percussion and hear the drum track by itself, or not by itself, but without the percussion. So I'm going to re-record this. See how things start to, have this building process. So instead of, I'm just going to erase whatever I did on the percussion track. Now I'm going to slow the timing down by hitting you can either tap tempo it, and on the keys it's pretty easy to do. And I'm going to slow it down just a little bit, and I'm going to sort of and that's kind of how I use these expansion sounds. It's very sort of there's a process to it. Like say I could go, so after I name whatever, it shows me what free tracks I might have. So here I might, on C, I might pull up like the standard strat. Now what I like to do is I like to take, let's go back, and I'm going to pull up a pick strat. And it may not be the one that I want, but I'm going to try it out first, called Super Pick. And so if you hit Shift, and I'm actually the tracks view. So here's your main page. This little line here is your tracks view. If I hit here, I can layer these. So remember, your Q link, as you scroll through these 4 stages, if you hold down this, you can see a snapshot of what each Q link and what each Q link here. So pretend that these are tipped up like that. Okay, so this one's program level. So this is a good one to remember. First Q link position, program level. All right. So what's going to happen, I can immediately change the program level on whichever is highlighted. So if I highlight this, the program level for the super pick is right here. Right? And that becomes important when you're trying to create a sound on a spot. So here's just the pick. Now, incidentally enough, you can actually hit the mix button one time, and when you play, you can see the levels here. Therefore, you can come in here and adjust them as you need to. So as you can see, I just played. Now, if you play something and you say, okay, you know, I wish I had recorded that. You just hit Shift and record. By hitting Shift, the record button will light up. And now I just activated retrospective record, which means hopefully what I just played recorded. All right. So that's one option that you have. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go into here and I'm going to, again, if I hit main, I'm going to see all my tracks. And on G, I'm going to put solo 1. And then on 8, I'm going to name this solo 2. Okay, what we're going to do is put a lead guitar sound on here, and I'm going to put in Cosm Monster from the Rolling Expansions, and I'm going to put the orange lead. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it to you in tracks mode. Again, I'm going to see me in this mode a lot today, and I'm going to hit Shift. So I hit the Shift over here and then Shift over here on this MPC Keys, and let me put the transpose back to the normal position. So I got a nice little stack. So what's going to happen is I take this Cosm Monster by itself, and I'm going to pull in this orange humbucker and blend the best of both. So let's just see what we come up with. And so that's just an example again of what you can do with the sounds. What I want to say about the expansion sounds is they do sound good by themselves, as you've heard, but when you start stacking sounds and layering, and there's plenty enough sounds in here, by the way, we really haven't covered a whole lot these videos anyway. You can get some really fantastic sounds. Okay, I haven't covered leads. There's a lot in here, so to discover, believe it or not, especially when you consider layering and all that. So one of my favorite sounds is from here. It's called Digital Voltage. It was in the Phantom S, G, and the X, and then any other instrument that had that sound engine in it. It was pretty much a standard sound. and it sounds like this, Dirty Voltage, which I'm gonna. So we're gonna call this SY1. Okay. And so Dirty Voltage, I tried to approximate the effects. Again, all these effects are right here. You can get to them right. This is one way to get to the effects. One of a few ways to get to the effects section. And you can take them in, you can take them out, you can mute them, you can edit them, as I showed before. So here's what Dirty Voltage sort of sounds like. Okay. What I like to do is use Dirty Voltage and then any other things. So let's just go into the D50 style sounds. Let's just pull a couple we'll pull up this comp sound as well. I'm just going to play a little bit around with what some of these possibilities. So let's pull up the last 3 sounds in here. Again, I'm in standalone mode. So here's Dirty Voltage. Here's comp. So I'm going to transpose this an octave down. Now, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can do it at the program level, and you can do it at the track level. If you do it at the program level, which is what I recommend, it doesn't matter what track you put this on. It'll always be at that octave, if that makes sense. So if I go to edit, if I go to global, I'm just going to go, just for this session, transpose it up an octave. Just this one pick sound. Okay. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to layer Dirty Voltage and see what kind of sound we can get. And then I'm also going to intertwine it with Abacat. Which is a very interesting sound. Now, this one I'm going to play with because I don't know how it reacts when it's an octave higher. I'm going to try it. See if I like it. And I'm going to go into here and adjust the volume and blend it in. We're just monkeying around right now. Remember Dirty Voltage? I'm going to go into here. You know, just know that you can go into here and edit any of these sounds to your heart's content. All right. So I look at this and just looking at the samples. One day I'll go through all these editing pages, every single feature, and explain to you what's going on with all this. And this will be a whole nother video. But what I'm looking at, if I hit shift, I'll go back. I'm just looking at some of the layers and how I want this to be sensitive. So I'm going to affect all the layers. I'm going to take this down to 90. I'll take this down to 100. I'm just tweaking it to calibrate, which I'll do another video on, how to take any of these sounds and to calibrate them to best fit the way you play the keyboard, as far as like hard, soft. Okay. So I go back to this little stack where you can see everything, and I'm going to put Abacat back on here. go up with the volume on here. So let's record it. Now, if I go back to the Cosm lead, and this is just really off the top of whatever. So if I just do a little call and answer, just 4-bar example. So this is just a tiny sliver of a minute example of some of the potential from just and the convenience of having, the expansion sounds. Whether you use mine or someone else's, really, to be honest. But the whole idea of getting your sounds that you use to be inside expansions is beyond super cool. It's very productive, and at the end of the day, it allows your MPC to be truly, for those that want to be separate from your external gear, it allows you to do that, and it does it in a fantastic implementation. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, and until next time, peace out.